Alright, today's phone that we have on our table for review is a special phone and I think it is worthy of your consideration. This is the Vivo V50 Lite. It's aimed towards a more affordable market segment and the main focus is going to be the absolutely massive battery. We'll talk about all of those in today's review, so do like and subscribe and let's get started right now. Let's now talk about the battery life first, since that is the main highlight for the Vivo V50 Lite. It has a massive 6500 mAh battery, and this is the absolute largest battery that we've encountered in a phone, especially with such a thin body. I expected it to be thick, but no, it just looks like any other standard phones. And in our standardized battery life test, the Vivo V50 Lite can last the absolute longest that I've seen so far, 24 hours and 41 minutes. Seriously, this is insanely good, and honestly speaking though, I've played around with this phone for about like 2 days and I still don't need to charge it, and that's just crazy. But that's not all. Vivo is so confident with its battery that this phone can do reverse wired charging at 5 volts, 1.2 amps, meaning 6 watts. It is an amazing feature and will come in handy if I need to charge like our earphones or our microphone, for example. As for the charging speed, it does come with a 90-watt charger inside the box and it charges the phone from 15% to completion in less than an hour. That is impressive given the capacity of this battery. We also can head into the settings menu to turn on the fastest charging speed possible, and this, however, doesn't actually change the charging speed compared to the stock settings. It does charge from 15% to completion about like 5 minutes faster, but the temperature also averages at 2.5 degrees Celsius higher too. That I don't think is worth the trade-off. When we do connect it to a USB PD PPS charger though, this phone will only take in 10 watts. And yes, that is quite disappointing, and that is why we need to bring Vivo's proprietary charger and cable if we want to fast charge this phone. It will take a super long time to charge, and yeah, I'm not sure why there's a boost up in the wattage near the end of the charging cycle. One big secret on how Vivo managed to make the 6500 mAh in the Vivo V50 Lite last so long is the chipset. It plays a big role as the MediaTek Dimensity 6300 in this phone is a low-powered chipset. Combined with some clever conservative tuning, the battery life can be extended to as long as what we've gotten in the standardized battery life test. However, this comes with a cost. The gaming performance here is kinda iffy if we're gonna play games like Genshin Impact. I mean, we can definitely play it using this phone, just that I would say it's gonna test my patience. Xender Zone Zero tested my patience even further, but this game is demanding on both PCs and phones. Wuthering Waves, which I have enjoyed more than Genshin nowadays, will also have low frame rates even at the lowest graphical settings. I mean, when we analyze the gaming performance, the wattage is only at around 3 watts most, and that is really low for any chipset. And it is no wonder why the gaming performance is like this. Still, when we are not gaming though, this works really well, so no worries there. As for the screen, this is an interesting one. The Vivo V50 Lite comes with a 6.77-inch screen with a resolution of 2392 by 1080 pixels with up to 120Hz refresh rate. This is a pretty good screen, all things considered. It can go up to around 1300 nits at the maximum auto brightness, and the color gamma coverage is also pretty good as it covers virtually 100% of sRGB and about 94% of DCI-P3. So I'd say the out-of-the-box experience with this screen is actually very good. You might want to change the refresh rate to be 120Hz consistently, but I honestly wouldn't be bothered much about that. All of this hardware is packed within this body. Yes, this phone is really thin and I'm impressed by how this phone looks like any other typical phones, but it packs in such a humongous battery inside. Plus, the titanium gold color makes this phone look super sleek and, dare I say, kinda chic. The camera bump is also tiny, which I personally prefer. And speaking of the cameras, this phone has only 2 cameras. We have a main and another ultra-wide angle cameras, and I do think that the pictures coming out of this phone is decent, be it on the ultra-wide or main cameras. The colors and clarity are both surprisingly decent, though I didn't have the opportunity to take as much picture as I wanted to. Still, we can definitely see that both cameras have a slight difference in color, but that's about it. Both cameras are surprisingly good. And the software that powers the Vivo V50 Lite is the FunTouch OS 15 on top of Android 15. I mean, it's the same that we've seen before. The software has all of the features that we've expected and it works well here. There are also ads pushed via the notifications as usual, but we can disable the notifications from those apps entirely and just silence the ads. The global search will still have ads, but we can mitigate it by changing the settings of that particular global search alone. Otherwise, this skin, I would still say it's fine. And a few more things to mention before we end this review. The Vivo V50 Lite has 2 SIM card slots and no microSD card slot, and it also uses a USB 2.0 port at the bottom. Other than that, this phone is indeed rated for IP65, so it is water resistant to a degree. And finally, should you buy the Vivo V50 Lite? All things considered, this is a pretty solid phone aimed towards a lower mid-range market. It is reflected in its price of 1,299 ringgit Malaysia. There is an instant cash rebate that makes this phone essentially 1,199 ringgit only at launch, alongside with some of the free gifts and whatnot, but I'm only focused on the price in this video. The main highlight for the Vivo V50 Lite is certainly gonna be its design, the massive battery, and also fast proprietary charging speeds. If you're looking for one for yourself, then check out all of the links down in the description below, and do let us know what do you think about the Vivo V50 Lite. Will you buy it or will you not? Hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, goodbye.